What's up, Endgame community? It's time to talk about more players that are causing your fantasy team panic. So let's get into it. All right, let's start with a pretty big name wide receiver, and that's A.J. Brown. Had only 6 targets, 3 catches for 38 yards in his first game back from that hamstring injury. Now only has 10 catches for 130 yards and 1 touchdown on the season. Not what you were looking for when you drafted this guy in, the second or third round of your fantasy drafts. I'm not going to say I'm full on panicking about A.J. Brown yet, but I'm mildly panicking. I'm going to chalk this up to first game back from that hamstring injury. I want to see what he does next week. If he struggles next week, he will definitely be high on the panic meter. Let's talk about another stud player, and that's running back Dalvin Cook, who missed a game with an ankle injury, came back, only played 50% of the snaps in week 4, was terrible, then was ruled out late this week in week 5. Obviously, I'm not panicked about Dalvin Cook if he's healthy, but here's my worry now. Did they rush him back too soon, and has that ankle gotten worse, and is this something that's going to linger for many, many weeks here? And we've seen Alexander Mattison, despite that late fumble, is a serviceable backup. So I'm a little bit worried about Dalvin Cook potentially missing another game or two and maybe not even being 100% when he comes back, but still, he's Dalvin Cook. He's a stud. Don't panic too much about him. He'll be okay when it matters, which is the fantasy playoffs. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, I just ask real quick, go down below, hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate it. All right, let's move to a tight end now. TJ Hockenson, since week 2, only 13 total targets and just 15 PPR fantasy points over that stretch. This Lions offense is horrendous. Jared Goff is horrendous. And the worst part is he seems to be spreading the ball around. I mean, Tyrell Williams is out with an injury. Quintez Cephas, unfortunately, got hurt today, and he's still spreading the ball all over the field. This is not what we thought it would be with Hockenson, being force-fed targets. I'm definitely mildly panicking here, and if I could, and I was able to move him because of his name value, I would. All right, back to another stud wide receiver, Terry McLaurin of my football team. He's had 2 really good games and 3 really bad games, and unfortunately, I think now that Taylor Heinicke is the quarterback, I just think this is how it's going to be for Terry McLaurin. There's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of up and down. He's too good for you to bench outside of maybe the toughest of tough matchups. But in any decent matchup, he's too good to bench. And you're just going to have to accept a lot of volatility with him in this football team offense with Taylor Heinicke. So I'm not panicking about Terry McLaurin. I'm accepting that he's going to be up and down. He's going to be kind of boom bust. But when he booms, he's going to really help you win. Hey guys, just real quick, if you're enjoying the videos, if you enjoy our channel, if you want to support us, we'd really appreciate it. We need the support. We have a link down below to our Patreon. It's very inexpensive, and you get tons of cool stuff to go along with it. Not to mention, you get to join us every Sunday morning for our members-only exclusive Start Sit show. So check that out down in the description below. Really appreciate all you guys for watching the videos. And for those of you who want to help us and support us a little more, check down below. All right, let's stick with wide receiver. Let's talk about Adam Thielen. 2 straight games with 3 or less catches. Only 3 targets here in week 5, and those didn't even come until the very end of the game. I think he had 2 of them in overtime. Definitely panicking here a little bit about Adam Thielen, because the major thing to me is Kirk Cousins has regressed, right? After that incredible start to the season, he's kind of come back down to earth. Even in a great matchup against Detroit, Kirk Cousins wasn't great, and Justin Jefferson is obviously the number 1 there. So not completely panicking on Adam Thielen. I'm mildly panicking, and if I got a good trade offer for Adam Thielen, I would absolutely accept it right now. All right, one more wide receiver, Laviska Shenault. My goodness, only 2 targets. I mean, DJ Chark out for the season. We thought his role would change. Well, guess what? His role did not change. Tavon Austin took over the DJ Chark role. Laviska Shenault is still stuck in the Laviska Shenault role. Only 2 targets. I know Trevor Lawrence didn't throw the ball a lot, but still, when Tavon Austin is out targeting you, that's panic time. I am definitely panicked about Laviska Shenault. I would be trying to trade him if he had any value at all. And also, I really do think he's droppable at this point. I mean, I think what we saw last week was just a product of Chark getting hurt in that game. I don't expect to see that going forward. So panic level, very high. All right, guys, before we get to the last 3 panic players, I do want to let you know really quick, we have a free Discord channel. Yes, that's right, free. You want to hop in there, check the link down below. It's a great place to be all week long. Not to mention, Sunday game days are amazing. Check it out. All right, enough picking on wide receivers. Let's pick on a couple running backs, and let's start with Melvin Gordon. Only has 11 total touches in each of the last 2 games. It looks like Javonte Williams is starting to creep up on him. We've talked about it. We think Javonte Williams will eventually take over this backfield. It may be happening. This could be the beginning of the end. I'm definitely panicking about Melvin Gordon. If I had Melvin Gordon, which I don't, but if I did, I would definitely be looking to move him right now while I still could to somebody who was desperate for a running back. So definitely panic level high for Melvin Gordon. Another running back I'm panicking on is Damien Harris. And not because Damien Harris has been bad. He looked really good in week 5 until he fumbled on the one, and then he was never seen from again. We know Bill Belichick hates fumbles more than anything. And, there's a mysterious chest injury. I don't buy the chest injury. I believe Bill Belichick benched him for that costly fumble on the 1-yard line. And now I worry that he is in Bill Belichick's doghouse, right? We saw Bolden getting run. We even saw the rookie Ramondre Stevenson getting run in the second half. And that was a close game where the Patriots were clawing their way back, right? It wasn't, it wasn't like they were getting blown out and they had to bench him. So I'm definitely panicked about Damien Harris. I think he's a great player. I think he's a decent fantasy asset. But after that fumble, I am panicked that he's not even going to be active next week because that's just something Bill Belichick would do. So panic level very high for Damien Harris. And then finally, let's finish with one more tight end, Noah Fant, who I was very high on this season. He has games of 10, 8, and 6 targets, but unfortunately, he also has games of 4 and 3 targets. And that 3-target game came here in week 5, which was very surprising because, you would think with Jerry Jeudy out, he'd be getting force-fed targets, and it's just not happening. But here's the thing about Noah Fant. He's a tight end. This is just how it goes for tight ends, right? He's not, outside of Kelsey and Waller, this is just what you get with your tight end. So, yeah, certainly mildly panicking about Noah Fant, but you're just going to have to ride the ups and downs. I mean, you could try to trade him, but then what are you going to do? You're going to go to the waiver wire and try to grab some tight end off waiver wire? Trust me, that's not fun. So, somewhat panicked about Noah Fant, but just kind of accepting that, hey, he's not an elite top 2 tight end, and this is just kind of how it goes. All right, guys, so those are my top 9 panic players heading out of week 5. I want to hear from you. Who are you panicking about? Thankfully, not Robert Woods anymore, right? It's nice to have him off the list. But I want to hear from you. Who are you panicking about that's on your fantasy team? Drop a comment and let me know. Also, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Check out the links below. We'd appreciate support in the Patreon. We're also giving you cool stuff to go along with that, and it's very inexpensive. But if that's not your thing, if spending money isn't your thing, no worries. We also have a free Discord channel that you can check out below. You absolutely want to do that. It's free. All right, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.